Madison Beer was discovered at 13, dropped by her label at 16, and for years was widely perceived as just another internet celebrity who couldn't make it. Over a decade later, she finally entered the Billboard Hot 100 with Bittersweet, debuting at number 98. Headlines framed it as an overnight success. There was nothing sudden about it. Her career didn't magically take off. It survived long enough for the culture to finally catch up. Those headlines only tell half the story. Her third album, Locket, debuted at number 10 on the Billboard 200 in January 2026, making her first top 10. According to Billboard Chartbeat reporting, the album sold 43,000 units in its first week, including around 15,000 vinyl copies. The same tracking week brought roughly 18.89 million streams. Her single Make You Mine later earned a Grammy nomination for Best Dance Pop Recording. The media that once questioned her legitimacy now describes her as an established pop artist. Rolling Stone labeled Locket her pop breakthrough, while Vogue featured her discussing creative control and performing at the Victoria's Secret fashion show. The success looks certain now, but it came after more than a decade of being pushed through an industry that first found her too young, then deemed her not immediately profitable. Justin Bieber discovered Madison Beer in 2012 when she was 13, tweeting about her cover of Etta James at last and calling her a future star. According to People magazine, she began crying on the street when a friend told her the news. She later told The Telegraph that Bieber had spun her life around in one tweet. Within months, she signed with Island Records under Scooter Braun's management, and her family relocated from Long Island to Los Angeles. That early visibility came with little protection. She told The Eye in 2023 that she remembers older men calling her hot when she was just 13. She has spoken about being exposed to adult environments and situations no child should experience. That experience eventually turned into abandonment. At 16, Island Records dropped her. She told Cosmopolitan that executives had promised her at 12 that she would be the female Justin Bieber within a year. When she didn't immediately become one of pop's biggest stars, everything disappeared almost overnight. Her label, lawyer, and manager Scooter Braun all cut ties at once. The same system that set impossible expectations withdrew support when she failed to meet them. Behind closed doors, she says the conversations were even more disturbing. In interviews, Madison has described industry figures debating whether she was too sexy to market and whether they needed to wait until she was older. She later said she felt reduced to a dollar sign, and once she stopped generating profit, they didn't care about her anymore. That rejection collided with public humiliation. Private photos leaked when she was 15, and online harassment became constant. In 2020, she wrote on Twitter about how difficult it was to explain the trauma and shame that resurfaced. In her memoir, The Half of It, she revealed that at 16 she felt so trapped she believed ending her life was the only way out. By every industry metric, her career should have been over. Most artists would have quit, but Madison Beer didn't. After leaving Island Records, she rebuilt on her own terms. In 2018, she released the independent EP As She Pleases, leaning into R&B influence sounds her label had rejected. Her debut album, Life Support, followed on February 26, 2021, with Madison co-writing and co-producing every track. That era included Reckless, a major turning point. The song earned her best weekly debut on Spotify, surpassed 79 million streams, and peaked inside the top 40 of the US Billboard Mainstream Top 40 chart. It showed she could succeed without chasing trends. The album was created during one of the darkest periods of her life. In 2021, she told NME that she had felt silenced by older men in the industry for years and that she was nearly a decade into her career, with a voice that deserved to be heard. Around this time, E! News confirmed her earlier diagnosis of borderline personality disorder. She described making music as a way to survive. She spent hours crying in the studio, but the work kept her alive. She called the album Life Support because that is exactly what it was. Her creative growth continued with her second album. By 2023, she released Silence Between Songs and stopped apologizing for taking time for herself. The album earned a nomination for Best Immersive Audio Album at the 66th Annual Grammy Awards. She told Grammy that artists are often warned that taking a break means someone else will replace them, but she no longer listens to that fear. She also told British Vogue that producer Leroy Clampett encouraged her to take co-production credits because the ideas were built collaboratively. Momentum built slowly, then all at once, Make You Mine arrived in early 2024 as a standalone single and became one of her most praised tracks. Teen Vogue reported that she completed a 56-date world tour in 2024, selling out venues including Radio City Music Hall. Then came the moment the industry framed as sudden. In January 2026, Bittersweet entered the Billboard Hot 100, her first chart entry after more than a decade. When The Guardian congratulated her, Madison said that while chart success is exciting, she has reached a place where she loves what she makes, regardless of performance. As Rolling Stone has noted, streaming now rewards sustained engagement over viral flashes. Madison told Grammy she refuses to force content just to stay visible. Choosing to create on her own timeline, the industry changed, but so did audiences. There is more space now for artists who evolve publicly, take breaks, and arrive later than expected. Madison Beer didn't suddenly break through. The culture finally caught up to the work she'd already been doing.